Good day, everyone, and welcome to today's class. Hope you've been following our Scratch project. Hope you've been able to work on different projects on Scratch. So, today we are going to be working on a new project, and this project is going to be about animals in the jungle, or it's going to be showing about wildlife, animals, and we're just going to code for them using our first code. If you've not watched the project we did on underwater, go and look at that, where we learn about the first code we use on Scratch. So now let's dive into a new project. So the first thing, you delete your sprite, definitely, because we want to create something new. So the next thing, you go to choose a sprite. So if you've not watched how to navigate the Scratch interface, better go and do that, because we talked about how how the Scratch interface, each blocks, each each blocks, what we use them for, and how we can navigate the Scratch interface. So the first one, we choose a sprite. Since I'm working with animals in the jungle, what are the kind of animals you can find in the jungle? What are the kind of animals you can find in the forest? So we are going to use bear walking. Then I just want, how many animals do I want? Okay, let's say three is enough. Let's not make it crowded. So I pick my butterfly. So I go over again. I'm looking at animals to pick. So you can pick anyone, your dragon, your dove. So I'm looking, I'm still searching for the one to pick. Should I pick the lion? Or should I pick the monkey? Let's go with a panther. So we have these three animals. So the next thing we are going to do is to change our backdrop. We've talked about this in the other class. So we go to, where can we go to change our backdrop? Is the backdrop in fantasy, outdoor, underwater? Where can our backdrop be? So you can use this search bar to search for jungle. You can see this. And yeah, we have our animals in the jungle. So we talked about reducing the size of our animal. This bear is a little bit too big, looking at the backdrop we have. So I have to, you can see this is on panther. I have to go back to bear, or you can double click on the animal you want. Then let's just reduce our bear to, let's say, 70. But I think this is okay for our bear. So let's just leave our butterfly here. You can also reduce the size of your butterfly. You're looking at all those butterflies too big. So let's just reduce it to 70. We are not reducing the panther because the size is okay, but if you want to, you can do that to yours. So the next thing we are going to go on is, let's do our first code. We are going to repeat our first code here. So we just want it to move. Let them just move. So we go to when green flag is clicked, which you can find in our events. We go to control to pick up forever. Then we go to motion, move 10 step. We then go over, we go down a bit, because we want it to bounce if you get to the edge. That's why we're using if on edge bounce. We said that in our other class. Now set rotation style. So now let's see the effect. My bear walking is working. Okay, so let's stop the bear working. So we want to repeat the same code for butterfly. Let's try and repeat the code again so that we can actually memorize that and just have it. So I do this when green flag is clicked, forever, move 10 step because I want it to move. Definitely motion means movement. Then the next one I move to is if on edge bounce. Then the last one is what, set rotation style. So let's see what happens to our butterfly. Butterfly is moving. Yeah, it's moving. So let's stop that. So now there's what we call duplicating of our code. Let's say we have about 5 or 6 sprites. We don't want to keep repeating the same thing all over again to save our time. So what we go on is we drag this code. We drag it. Which of the one we've not code for? The panther. Then you move it up until it shakes. Let me see, is it shaking? Yep, let me drag it inside. So do you see that our panther have the code? I didn't code for the panther. I just drag and drop it there. So now let's click on the green flag. You can see all our sprites is moving. Then you probably want to present it to someone. You don't want the person to see the code you use. You can click on this full screen. Can you see this full screen? Then is this not looking beautiful? So we have this. Then you can also go back. Then we have this. Then you can also shrink it a bit. Probably you have a large code that you are working on and you want a bigger space for your code block. This is to zoom it just to make the code looks bigger. You can see, and this you reduce it. So every time you make this mistake, you use this to bring it to the normal size. So this is for our project on our animals in the jungle. Let's add one more effect, then we call it a day. So let's stop it. Let's go to our costume. Let's even try out what do we have in costume. What are the things we can find in costume? Yes, my panther. So in costume, you can change the colors of your sprites in costume. Just like the way we have our costume, we wear different things. I want to change the color of my sprite, panther. Then I can go to fill. Then probably what color should we change it to? So you can see different colors. Then I can work with saturation. Probably I want some bright colors. Then let's just go with this one. So you can see. Now you have to go to this fill. So let's do this. I have to get this same color. Are we there? So let's see. I think the brightness is a bit reduced. Let's see. So I think this is it. So you click here. No, it's not the same shade. So let's darken it a bit. So I think we are there. Okay, so we do this. We are not there yet, but let's just manage it. Then we have this. So we have this and we have this. So because I want everything to be uniform, so I'm going to change this to this too. So you just keep clicking on everywhere you want, anywhere you want it to change to. So you can see, so you can do the same thing for your butterfly, you can do the same thing for your bear walking. So that will be all on today's class. You can see our bear, we are giving it different. So our bear has, you can give it different style. You can move this, so and you can do the same thing for your butterfly. So you can give it, can you see? Probably want everything to have this shade of color. Can we see? So that's how to do that on Scratch. Don't forget to save your project. See you in the next class. Bye for now.